okay? And it's mostly perpetrated by kids, man, children, all right? Usually it ain't no big grown-ass man that's out there, but sometimes you do, okay? But there ain't no big adult, all right? Because that's really a young man's game, all right? And they oppress who? They oppress the people, man. Okay, so it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. That's dealing with the people of the Lord is who? The Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Children are their oppressors and women rule over them, because you got a disbalance of the power structure within the household, okay, and rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the ways of thy paths. So going back all the way onto the man Jeroboam, and also to what was happening in Israel, when you had wicked kings that were set up too, because you had also wicked kings within the house within the kingdom of Judah. You also had it to where you had wicked kings then, and that's why the Most High did away with the entirety of the whole nation. Okay. So ultimately, he did away with all of us, and this is what this is being chronicled within the book of Hosea. So going back here, it says here, 7th verse, Hosea 1:7. It says, but I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and I will save them by the Lord their power, and I will not save them neither. I will not save them by no. Let me read that again. It says, I'll have mercy upon the house of Judah, and I will save them by the Lord, and I will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, nor by horsemen. Now, when you check out the history, which let me try quickly find it.
Most of the time, always circle back to real long.
Okay, when you check out the history, all right, the kingdom of Israel had been taken down, okay, but because this statement that's being made there, that's a prophetic statement that was being made, just like how we're prophesying about the time of Jacob's trouble, okay, and all of that. You also had it to where they was back in the day, they was prophesying the same thing. They was doing the same thing. They was doing the same job the men of the Lord are doing right now, which was to come out here and tell you what's going to happen within the future. Right? Let me quickly find that Bible. All right, Assyrian. Okay, Assyria and Jerusalem, and this should be. This should be in the book of Isaiah somewhere. Right, it's telling me Isaiah the 36th chapter. All right, so I'm gonna try to quickly find it. But this was Hosea, okay, prophesying what was gonna happen, man. Okay, this was Hosea saying, look, this is the situation that's gonna play out. All right, and he was basically saying, look, the Most High wasn't going to have mercy upon Israel. And if I remember the history correctly, what was happening was you had Damascus, okay, and the king that was there, I forget the name of the king, had made a pact with the house of with the kingdom of Israel, and they was going to come up against Jerusalem, but the Assyrians are taking them down. If I remember how the story goes correctly. All right, but when it was time for the Assyrian conquest of Jerusalem, the scripture says that what? The Lord wasn't going to be the Lord was going to have mercy upon who? He was going to have mercy upon Israel, no, the house of Judah, but he wasn't going to save them by war. He was going to save, and when you read the Chronicle, as I'm going to read it for you here, he was going to save them by his hand. Now, ultimately, this is also applicable to this time that we're living in right now, because here it is, you go to where the Lord's ultimately going to have mercy for the children of Israel, but the whole house of Israel, okay? But this time, we ain't going to be setting up no army, no war. The Lord himself was going to be what? He was going to be the conquering lion of the tribe of Israel, man. The whole nation of Israel, okay? He was going to deliver the people. So he came in his lion, okay, he came in his lamb-like form, but upon his return, he's going to be coming in his lion-like form, okay, which is the duality of the Messiah. Okay, so let me see if I can quickly find this. Right, here we go. So this is the book of Ezekiel. So you're getting a good history lesson today. Okay, it's a good history lesson. So the book of Ezekiel, Isaiah 36 and 1, it says, and it came to pass in the 14th year of King Hezekiah, that Sennacherib, which was one of the sons of Tiglath-Pileser III, if I'm not mistaken. All right, it says Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, came up against the defense cities and took them. So this is where you get the Lachish reliefs that are out there within the British Museum to this day. And when you check out those Lachish reliefs, it's undoubtable, okay, that the people that they was taking down, okay, which was the defense cities around Judah, right? Because you gotta remember a territory, all right, or a city. You take the city of London for example, or the city of York. We're in York, right? You take the city of York, you go to the main city, okay, which is York, but also you go to the little principal cities that are outside. And as you go out away from that city, okay, Jerusalem in this case, all right, the cities get smaller and smaller and smaller. London is a good example, okay, because you got it to where you go the London, the main part of London, okay, but you also got the territorial areas. The further out you go into it, there are parts of London that are not really part of London. Like they're part of London, but technically it's its own city, like Watford and so on and so forth. So you have the same thing happen. And you have that happen with most cities. New York, you're gonna have the same thing. You have these little provinces that are part of New York, but really they're kind of doing it. It's distance. Okay, it's a part of that collective. Okay, but it's like its own thing as well. Okay, so you had the same thing that was happening out there within the land of within the kingdom of Judah. You had the main principal capital, was known as the capital city, okay, which was Jerusalem, and you had also the surrounding cities around that, okay, right? You know, these as the extended territory, if you will. So it says here, and the king of Assyria sent Rabshakeh, okay, from the Lachish, right, to Jerusalem unto King Hezekiah with a great army, and he stood by the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller field. And then came forth unto him Eliakim, Hilkiah's son, which was over the house, and Sheba the scribe, and Jeor, and Asaph, okay, the Asaph's son, the recorder. And Rabshakeh said unto them, say ye now to Hezekiah, thus saith the great king of Assyria, what confidence is this wherein thou trustest? And that was a statement of pride right there. All right, here it is. You had it where the Assyrians were coming up against who? They was coming up against the children of Israel, and they was coming up in great pride, man. Because when you check out the Assyrians, that was the beginning of modern day warfare right there, right? Their warfare was cruel. All right, I believe they had this instance where they would chain up people by their noses and drag them by their noses. Okay, they'll gather them and they'll pull them by their nostrils. Man, there was a cruel nation. That's where you have modern warfare that it built up off of that, man. They modernized the flanks. Okay, when you take over a nation and how you organize the army, they modernized that. Okay, so they was in terms of war, they was doing major things, man. Okay, they was advancing war. Okay, and then after that you had the Babylonians, they took it to another level. The Medo-Persians took it to another level, and then the Greeks took it to another level to where you got it to where right now, okay, the modern day army right now is far superior than that of the ancient world, right? But back then the Assyrians were the top guys when it came to war, man. Okay, the Mosai had put the world within their power at that time, and so they had the superior army. So they was coming in great pride, and says, and I say, says thou, but they are vain words, and I have counsel and strength for war. Now on whom dost thou trust that thou hast rebelled against me? Because if I don't know if I remember correctly, there was an instance of tax that was not being paid, and then that was coming from Jerusalem, and therefore the Assyrians came. I forget if that's exactly how the story goes, but nevertheless, you had the Assyrians at the doorstep, ready to collect. Okay, right? So you had an act of rebellion, if you will. I believe it was King Hezekiah, and I believe it was an act of rebellion based upon taxation, right? Because the taxation was exorbitant, just like how you have it right now. All right, you got to where the rulers that are out here, the taxation is exorbitant. But see, you ain't gonna have no revolutionary movement that's gonna happen now, where some country's gonna come up and just, you know, I mean, that's gonna happen. I mean, if you consider taxation sanctions, that's going to happen between the Russians and the Americans. But what I'm trying to tell you now is that how Jerusalem is going to be saved, it ain't going to be saved. When I say Jerusalem, I'm talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. The way the 12 tribes is going to be saved this time, it ain't going to be through our own hand. It's going to be through the hands of the Lord. Okay? No pictures, please. All right. So continuing here, it says, within the book of Isaiah 36 and 6, it says, "For lo, thou hast trusted in thy staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into the hand and pierce it." Okay, so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, okay, to all that trust in him. So like I said, if I remember the history accurate, all right, there was pacts that was made. Okay, Assyria had made pacts with who they made pacts with. I forget who they had made pacts with. Okay, but you had pacts that was being made. Okay, right, and what it's saying here, you had Jake. I think they had made a pact with the Egyptians, but nevertheless, all right, he was saying, look, you gonna trust in Egypt? Who you gonna trust in? Okay, where that you should rebel against this. And as far as they was concerned, they was at the pinnacle of their power, and they was never gonna descend from that position. But look what check what's gonna happen, man. Okay, so it says that but if thou say to me, we trust in the Lord of our God, is it not he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah has taken away, and saith to Judah and to Jerusalem, ye worship before these altars? Now therefore give pledges, I pray thee, to my master, the king of the king of Assyria, and I'll give thee 2,000 horses, if thou be able to, or be able on thy part to set riders upon it. And how will then thou turn away the face of one captain of the least of my master's servants, and put thy trust on the Egypt for chariots and for horsemen? Okay, so he's basically saying, look, bow down before the Assyrians. Okay, so let's jump down to the point. 14th verse, it says, thus saith the king, let not Hezekiah deceive you, for he shall not be able to deliver you, neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying the Lord will surely deliver us. This city shall not be delivered, this city shall not be delivered into the hand of the king of Assyria. Okay, that's what they were saying. Okay, and hearken not unto Hezekiah. So this was the Assyrians saying, look, don't listen to your king. Okay, he's telling you that, you know, he's gonna say, look, the Lord's gonna deliver you, etc., etc., etc. But that's not gonna play out, right? Right. So let's okay, so let's go to the point. Let's see what let me show you what the Lord did. Okay, which was might be in the 37th verse. Okay, so if you read the whole chapter if you read from 36 really to like 38, you get all the context, right? So, but I'm giving you you've seen the story. They came up. Okay, they was making threats. They said bow down. They said the Lord wasn't going to deliver you. Now this is what it was talking about within the book of Hosea. All right, so the book of Ezekiel, Isaiah 37 and 33. It says, therefore thus saith the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow, nor come before it with shields, nor cast a bunk against it. But by the way that he came, by the same way shall he return, and shall not be able to enter into the city. For I will defend the city, and I'll save it for my own sake, okay, for my servant David's sake. Okay, then the angel of the Lord went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrian 145,000 men. So that's what it was dealing with when they said, look, the Lord wasn't going to have mercy upon Israel anymore, because they got taken down. Okay, when the Assyrians had come unto Jerusalem, okay, the kingdom of Judah, they had taken down the kingdom of Israel. All right, but when they had come to Hezekiah, Hezekiah was still in his was in his right state of mind. Okay, he was doing that which was right before the Lord. I believe when you go into the book of Kings, it phrases like that. It says, you know, he was right in the eyes of the Lord, blah, 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 so on and so forth, right? So continuing now, we can go now into the book of Hosea. Now that you understand what was happening within in terms of the history. If you're confused, there's a video that I did, me and the elder Rakor Kwan, we did back in the day, okay, going into the history, all right, and the elder goes into it beautifully, man, you know. So going into it, going back into the book of Hosea now, going back onto the topic, so now you got the historical background of what was happening back then. The book of Hosea 1:7, it says, I will have mercy upon the house of Judah. The Lord, I have mercy upon the house of Judah, because what did he do? He sent an angel, which was Yahushai, and he destroyed 145,000 of the house of the Assyrian army. Okay, he destroyed 100,000 of them, right? Okay, but for the house of Israel, what happened? They were carried out there into captivity. Okay, continuing, it says, now when she had weaned Leruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. And then said the Most High, call his name Lo Ami, for ye are not my people, and not be to you a power. Because even after a period of time, okay, referencing the book of Jeremiah, right? Because remember what Jeremiah was saying. He said in the days of the old prophets, they was prophesying against many kingdoms. They was, because pretty much you had false prophets in the time of Jeremiah that was saying to the people, look, you're gonna be all right. Okay, the Syrians, they ain't gonna take you down, etc., etc. Excuse me, etc., etc., etc. Guess what happened, man? The Assyrians took them down, man. Okay, no, the Assyrians, no. The Babylon was gonna take you down. See, I'm getting confused. I'm confusing myself. You had a lot of false prophets during Jeremiah's day to clarify and correct. Okay, you had a lot of prophets, okay, false prophets, okay, within the time of Jeremiah that was saying to the people, look, the king of Babylon wasn't going to come up against this city and he wasn't going to prevail. And guess what happened? He prevailed, okay? We're going to see that. It says that, then said the Lord, call his name Lo Ami, for ye are not my people, and not be to your power. 10th verse. But ye shall be, but the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, all right, and which cannot be numbered nor measured. And it shall come to pass that that in the place where it said unto them, ye are not my people, they shall be said unto you, ye are the sons of the living power. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together to appoint themselves one head. Okay, that's important, because when we're dealing with this thing of the children of Israel, we're not talking about this divided kingdom. No. Okay, as we read within the book of Isaiah 11:16, it says the Lord was going to take away the vexation that you have between the two kingdoms. We're going to be nice, man. Okay, we was going to be brothers again. Okay, and we was going to be doing all right. It says, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up to the land, and they shall be for gate shall be the day of Jezreel. Now let's go to Amos. All right, let me build up upon that particular idea. Okay, Amos, the 9th chapter, and this is Amos 9, and this is the book of Amos 9. And we can start from the 8th verse. Okay, Amos 9 and 8 says, for behold, the days of the Lord Yahweh upon the sinful kingdom. Okay, so the eyes of the Lord power upon the sinful kingdom. We're living through that sinful kingdom right now. Like I said at the beginning, when the people are righteous, okay, when the ruler is righteous, the people was going to be righteous. But when the ruler is wicked, the people also was going to be wicked. And we're living through that society right now where the ruler is totally wicked, man. Okay, all the laws that are being passed right now are what? Totally against the scriptures, man. Okay, the rainbow movement against the scriptures, the Me Too movement against the scriptures. Okay, all of these movements, but these are fundamental movements that govern how people think. You go into the workplace and people you go into the workplace and you got all kind of friction, okay, and it's a horrible environment to work in. It goes back onto the principles that are being pushed within your governing bodies, man, against the scriptures. See, when you go into the Bible and you find out that the Bible is supposed to be the main governing book of the world, you have a book within the scriptures, okay, that's very efficient, okay, and very functional when it comes to how the world's supposed to be, how you're supposed to use water, how you're supposed to use grain, how you're supposed to treat your family, your woman, your nation, how it's all supposed to be functioning, taxing, how it's supposed to function, debt, how it's supposed to function. Because even when you're dealing with debt, here it is, you got a debt-based society. When you're dealing with debt within the scriptures, there's a year of release, man. Because if you didn't have a year of release, if that person couldn't pay their debts off and you didn't have a year of release, well, guess what? You was gonna have a situation where you got the rulers, okay, the lenders of usury, okay, the lenders of debt, the debt merchant, okay, the loan merchant was gonna be amassing wealth to himself, and whoever was borrowing was gonna get poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer, man. The year of release makes it to where what? You got equality, and this is a situation, this is a society where you don't have equality. They say 1% of the world controls 99% of the world's resources. And that's because you got into where the elite banking families have amassed all the world's resources onto themselves, man. And they're wicked. So what they gonna do with those resources? Were they gonna go out there and feed children, hungry babies out there and put, make the world right? Nah, they went out there and they did even more evils, man. Okay, now they're looking to chip everybody, okay, and depopulate the world, okay? So continuing here, it says in the book of Amos, the 9th chapter and the 8th verse, it says, the eyes of the Lord power upon the sinful kingdom, and I'll destroy from off the face thereof, saving utterly, I will not destroy the house of Jacob. So the Most High said that what? He wasn't going to destroy the house of Jacob. All right, so when all is said and done, you ain't gonna have a situation where you got an Israelite left over there, okay, and an Israelite left over there, and they get destroyed within this World War III. Nah, the Lord, as you're gonna see here, He was gonna sift the house of Israel like corn is sifted in the sieve, and ye shall know the least grain fall upon the earth, man. We was gonna be, ultimately, we was all gonna be delivered. But guess what? Only the elect was gonna be delivered the first time round. All right. So it says, for lo, I'll command, I'll sift the house of Israel from among all nations like corn is sifted in the sieve. And this is the word, okay? Because the word is really the sifting mechanism that you have out here. Because not everybody was going to get into the word. All right, the book of Romans,